Welcome back. Now, another company has been granted permission for a seismic survey of the coast, and environmentalists, as you can imagine, are not happy. Green Connection is appealing the authorization granted to Tosaco Energy to survey the west coast. Communities argue affected parties were not adequately consulted. Let's get the details from Neville Van Rooy from Green Connection. A very good morning to you, Neville, and thank you so much for your time here on the South African Morning. So, obviously, I imagine the first point of concern and the first point of irritation is the lack of consultation about this granting of the seismic survey, but then also it's the potential that this could also be seen through, as we saw with Shell.
Good morning to you, Lerato, and good morning to the viewers, and thank you for this opportunity. Yes, we are indeed not satisfied with this authorization that has been given, and the Northern Cape communities, alongside the Green Connection and various other civil society organizations, we have submitted our appeals, and we are not happy that this has gone through. Some of the things that you have already mentioned, like the public participation, was totally out of the door, and communities really feel disrespected and marginalized. And this is unacceptable. This is also illegal according to the National Environmental Management Act.
Neville, this has been appealed by Green Connection. With whom has it been appealed? Who are you challenging here? Because I imagine, obviously, you would want to take it all the way up to challenging Minister Gwede Mantashe and his department. But who have you started attacking right now?
We have started with the Tosaco company itself to launch our appeals to the National Appeal Regulation of South Africa. We have started with them, and then we will also appeal with the, and because we are truly not granted.
Just speak to us, for those, of course, who do not understand why it is, there's this uproar against Shell and now this uproar against Tosaco Energy. Speak to us somewhat in layman's terms what them doing these seismic surveys essentially means for the environment, for the communities, of course, that are crying about not being consulted. What are the effects of what these companies are trying to do? A seismic survey activity goes from 4 to 5 months, where there will be a seismic blasting down the ocean floor every 10 seconds down the ocean floor. And you can imagine, start with the ocean. The ocean will be extremely disrupted. You're talking about ecosystems within ecosystems that will be disrupted, and that directly will affect the small-scale fishermen in the area, which is a direct attack on food security of the local area. We're celebrating Easter at this moment, and how everyone knows how popular South Africa is known for its pickled fish during this time of the year. Are you saying that in our next generations will not be able to live that culture that we're enjoying from our beautiful oceans out there? So that is the dynamic that you're talking about here. So we're talking about sound waves, we're talking about frequencies down the ocean floor, and we know that marine species is very much dependent on sound for locating their prey, for direction, for all of that. That is the implications and complications that we're talking about here. And we're talking about the attack, like I said, on our food security, our local economies that will be, hampered in this area, that actually might be destroyed. Okay, so Neville, you're saying that one of the issues is that the communities were not consulted. Let's say now Tosaco and the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy come through and have those consultations with Green Connection and the communities, and they outline all the positive aspects of this seismic survey. I mean, you're obviously outlining all the negatives and the effects that it would have, but also they come through and say, there'll be all the necessary precautions to ensure that the concerns you have, do not, happen, and that this will actually bode well for the communities around the West Coast. What then would you say to that? You know, we would simply still say no to take the precautionary measure at all times when it comes to the environment. We are finding ourselves in a climate crisis right now, and as we have seen in the KZN area, climate change is no longer a distant phenomenon. Climate change is here right now, and we need to deal with it accordingly, and we need to be careful to allow more oil and gas and coal and nuclear and those things that is harsh on the environment. Let's rather go the cleaner route, the more environmentally friendly possibilities in terms of our energy demand for the future. We don't see an energy future with oil and gas needed in our oceans. And the research has not been done when we speak about the oceans alone. Not enough research is available for us to be able to tamper with things like oil and gas and seismic surveys in our oceans.
Neville, we've got a couple of seconds. I must just ask you this question. Tosaco Energy is backed by the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. They're backed by Minister Gwede Mantashe, clearly. So they're coming in quite heavy. Do you think you stand a chance as Green Connection?
Yeah, it's a chance that we are willing to take all the way. We're not going to back down. We are going to take that chance, and we believe that we will go all the way to the court if need be to protect people's rights, to protect people's livelihoods, to say that we have rights stipulated in the National Environmental Management Act. Why is those rights not being enforced? Why are they trying to cut corners here?
Well, clearly this is not going to be something that's going to end anytime soon. We'll definitely be keeping in touch with yourselves, Green Connection, and maybe even the department itself to hear what exactly is being done to make sure that the situation does not get out of hand. That is Neville Van Rooy. He's a community campaigner for Green Connection.